Dears, welcome back to our new video on the Crocon Rapid Revisions, and let's continue our discussions from the pharmacology. And so we have the first here, adipose cell stabilizers or the mast cell stabilizers. Okay, so adipose cell stabilizer, remember adipose cell stabilizer we have, or mast cell. So what does the mast cell do? Mast cell produce the heparin and its same function as the basophils do. Okay, so remember the mast cell, yes, black. So remember the mast cell, they produce the immunoglobulins E, and we know that immunoglobulin IgE, it involved in which reaction? Yes, that is allergic reactions. And the formation of immunoglobulin E from the mast cell is known as degranulation. What we call it? Degranulation. Degranulation. So if IgE will produce, so it will cause allergic reaction. So we need to stop this. So how can we stop? With the help of, we can stabilize the mast cell to not to produce the immunoglobulin E. So for that we can give the drugs, that is mast cell stabilizers. So what drugs we can give here? So remember for the croc, that is our ketotifen, sodium chromoglyconate and neodochromium. Which drugs? Ketotifen, neodochromium and sodium chromoglyconate. Ketotifen, neodochromium and the sodium chromoglyconate we use for the mast cell stabilizer and to prevent the, and for the prevention of the allergic, or we can say we can use it as prophylaxis for the allergy. Okay, so here we know the drug metabolism, so CYP450, vomiting, we know that metoclopramide we studied, and cholagogic, it's magnesium sulfase. Magnesium sulfase is cholagogic. Then heart failure. Heart failure, remember we have acute heart failure and chronic heart failure. So if have acute heart failure, then which drug we can use? That is stropanthine corglycanum cardiamine. Which drug? Stropanthine corglycanum cardiamine. Which drugs? Yes, stropanthine corglycanum cardiamine. So this is the pharma. So we need to remember only like that. Stropanthine corglycanum cardiamine, SCC. So SCC. So remember the corglycanum. Corglycanum, it uses IV. It given as IV injection. Then if in the option the both are given, like corglycanum as well as cardiamine, both are given. So remember that corglycanum is your answer and cardiamine, then cardiamine. So there will be the answer what? Corglycanum. For the chronic heart failure, we know which drug we use, that is digoxin or the digitoxins. So for the chronic heart failure, which drugs we use? Yes, that is digoxin or digitoxin. What the mechanism of action? They inhibit the ATPase. They inhibit the ATPase enzymes. Remember, I already told that it never give with the thiazides. Never ever give with the thiazides, because the enemy of the digoxins. Can use with the spironolactone. So it can be used with spironolactone. Okay. So these are the friend of the we can say friend of the spironolactone. What is the side effect? Side effect, remember, material accumulation or maternal accumulation is the side effect for the digoxin or the digitoxin. Material accumulation or the maternal accumulation, this is the side effect for the digoxin or digitoxin used for the chronic heart failure. Okay. Then remember diclofenac and the aceclofenac. So what these are? These are the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAID. These are the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So these are the cyclooxygenase 1 inhibitors. What is the example for non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs? That is diclofenac or aceclofenac. Remember we have if you just studied about the cyclooxygenase and the LOX pathway, COX and the LOX pathway, I will discuss it separately also. COX and the LOX pathway. So COX means cyclooxygenase. Cyclooxygenase, these are enzymes here, and lipooxygenase. Lipooxygenase. Okay. So cyclooxygenase and the lipooxygenase. So remember for the cyclooxygenase, these are the, that can be COX-1, they produce the prostaglandins, prostacyclin and thromboxane A2. Then COX, it can be COX-2, it can be COX-3. And lipooxygenase, they produce the leukotrienes. That involved in the bronchoconstriction used for or in the case of asthma. So remember the COX-1. So COX-1 we have the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. What the side effect of that? That cause the peptic and the gastric ulcers. So they have the problem in the stomach. Also in the option you can find rheumatoid arthritis. So in the rheumatoid arthritis there is also the problem in the stomach. So if you have the rheumatoid arthritis, peptic gastric ulcers, or if the patient having this type of the disease, this type ulcers or this type of rheumatoid arthritis, so in these patients, what we will give? We will give the COX-2 inhibitors. What which drugs? COX-2 inhibitors. So what the COX-2 inhibitors? These are also non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So in this patient, we will give the celecoxib. One more drug is there, rofecoxib, but that is banned now. So remember only the drugs that famous drug for the croak, that is celecoxib. So it used in the patient having the gastric problem or the rheumatoid arthritis or the peptic ulcer or gastropathy. Then COX-3 inhibitor. Remember the COX-3 inhibitor. They also have the side effect C for celecoxib, C for cardiotoxic, C for celecoxib and C for cardiotoxics, but not too much. But they are. Then next is paracetamol, N-acetyl-16, that is N-acetyl-16 is antidote for the paracetamol. Okay, so remember paracetamol, or we can say P-mol. It's usually in the form of the P-mol, and it's not nowadays it's combined with the diclo, so it termed as diclofenac paracetamol. Okay, it's COX-3 inhibitors, and what the side effect for that? That is it's hepatotoxics, but it's very large amount. If you take, then it causes hepatotoxics, not in the normal amount. Then we studied about the non-steroidal. So there will be the steroidal drugs also. Yes, that is the steroidal drugs, that is prednisolone. We know dexamethasone, you know, corona patient फूल गया, become swelling, dexamethasone. So in those patients, so it have the side effects. Dexamethasone, it cause weight gain. That's why it after that it's not used for the corona patient, because it's have the side effects that it cause the weight gain. Now the prednisolone, dexamethasone, so these all are the steroidal drugs, and remember the prednisolone, it inhibits the phospholipase A2, this enzyme involved in the arachidonic acid metabolism. Then it activates the gluconeogenesis, which they activate the gluconeogenesis. They increase the sugar level in the blood. Okay, so remember the prednisolone. So we studied about the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs and the steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So prednisolone, it's also steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Now there is indirect antagonist who halothane and the proserine or the neostigmine. So halothane is muscle relaxant, they inhibit the sodium channel, and proserine or neostigmine, they involved in the muscles contraction, or they inhibit the acetylcholinesterase. We already know that increase the acetylcholine. So these are the antagonists. Why not direct? Because they have the opposite or different mechanism of action and different functions. So that's why they call it indirect antagonist. Also remember the proserine or the neostigmine, they stimulate the intestinal peristalsis, intestinal or gastric peristalsis, like movement in the intestine and the stomach, and the tonus of the urinary bladder. So stimulate the intestinal peristalsis and the tonus of the urinary bladder. Okay, now let's talk about the anti-tussive drugs or anti-cough drugs. Tussive means cough. So anti-tussive or anti-cough drugs. So what these are? These are the cough center. So where the cough center present? In the medulla oblongata. Cough center present in the medulla oblongata. So there it can be central, like the drug suppressing the cough center, that is codeine and the focodeine. So which drugs suppress the cough center? That is the codeine and the focodeine. So these are the opioids, or these are the narcotics. These are opioid narcotic. We already studied that in the codeine we studied, that is our narcotic. Now we have another non-narcotic disorder that suppress the cough center or suppress the medulla oblongata, that is glycine hydrochloride. So it is a non-narcotic. Suppress the sensory nerve endings. So which drug suppress? The drug suppressing the sensory nerve endings, that is chlorobutol and menthol. Chlorobutol and the menthol, these suppress the sensory nerve endings. Another is mucolytic drugs. So which are the mucolytic drugs? Okay, these are like ambroxol, N-acetylcysteine, and ammonium chloride, and the sodium chloride. So these all are our mucolytic drugs. So these are the mucolytic means, lytic means breakdown, and muco means mucus. So mucus breakdown. So if you are having some like balgam jam jana बोलते हैं ना, balgam jam गया in Hindi. So and mucolytic means it in mucus formation will be there. So it will be the mucus breakdown will be there. So what drugs we use, that ambroxol and acetylcysteine, ammonium chloride, and the sodium chloride. So these are the drugs used for the mucolytic drugs. Then it is the parasympathetolytics. Parasympathetolytics, these are the M3 blockers. Parasympathetolytics, these are the M3 blockers. Now these are the atropine and the belladonna. So remember, these are M3 parasympathetolytic, atropine and the belladonna. So they can use as the antitussive drugs. So we have the 4 main drugs here, that is drug suppressing the cough center. We know that codeine, opioid, narcotic, but and glycine hydrochloride, no narcotics. So if you're having in the child, what we will prefer? No narcotic, of course, because narcotic, they cause addiction effect. The suppressing the nerve sense, who suppress the nerve sensory nerve ending, that is clorbutol and the menthol. And another is mucolytic, mucus breakdown drugs, that ambroxol and acetylcysteine, ammonium chloride and the sodium chloride. Parasympathetolytics, we know belladonna poisoning, that is atropine or the belladonna poisoning. But also remember the belladonna poisoning antidote, same as atropine, that is neostigmine. Then there is aprotinine or contrical. So aprotinine or contrical, remember, it is drug used for the acute pancreatitis. So which drug used for the acute pancreatitis? That is aprotinine or the contrical. So drug used for the acute pancreatitis, that is aprotinine or the contricals, and it blocks the kinin-kallikrein enzymes. It blocks the kinin-kallikrein enzymes, and kinin-kallikrein enzymes, they activate the 12th clotting factor into the 12th A, activating factors 12th A. So it blocks the kinin-kallikrein enzyme, who aprotinine or the contricals, drug used for the acute pancreatitis. What is the diagnosis we use for the acute pancreatitis? That is amylase mainly. Amylase, that is enzyme used for the diagnosis of the acute pancreatitis. Next is bromism. So bromism, remember, we have the one disorder, that is neurasthenia. Neurasthenia means there is no strength of the nerves, or nerves become so weak. So in this case, we will use the bromism. So bromism have the side effect, like it can cause conjunctivitis, inflammation of the conjunctiva, it can cause coryza, it can cause rashes in the skin. Now remember, we know bromism. Bromism means bromide or sodium bromide. Okay, what is the sodium bromide? Then what for the bromisms, what the antidote will use? Sodium bromide, BC, be careful. So sodium chloride. So what is the antidote here? That is the chloride antidote. Now the next drug is for the brain memory. So there is only one drug here that is used for the brain memory, that is the piracetam drugs. Which drug? That is the piracetam drugs. So remember the nootropics. Nootropic, it's used for the brain memory. So nootropic, it's used for the brain memory. And also remember, nootropics or used for the brain memory. So these are the nootropics drugs. Nootropics is the group of the drugs used for the brain memory. Which drug? Piracetam drugs, and it blocks the adenosine receptors, and that increase the cyclic AMP. Also remember the caffeine. Caffeine, we like coffee, caffeines also, in that we have the caffeine. So it also blocks the adenosine. It increases the cyclic AMP in our brains, that used for the brain memory. So remember, if they will ask you, first please check the questions what they ask you about the drugs. And so in the option, if there is giving the piracetam as caffeine and benzocaffeine natriums, so always go for the piracetam. The next is bisabolol or the cotrimoxazole. Bisabolol or cotrimoxazole, it is a combination of is a combinative drugs. Remember the bisabolol or the cotrimoxazole. So they include the two drugs. Which two drugs? Sulfamethoxazole and trimethoprim. Sulfamethoxazole and the trimethoprim. So these are the combination of the sulfamethoxazole and the trimethoprim. Remember the sulfamethoxazoles, it inhibit the dihydrotauroate synthase. It inhibit dihydrotauroate synthetase, and trimethoprim, it inhibit the dihydrofolate reductase. What the enzyme do? They are involved in the folic acid synthesis. Involved in folic acid synthesis. Folic acid synthesis. What is the drug of the choice for the like it is the drug of the choice in which cases? In case of, yes, in case of like pneumocystitis, nocardia. So these are the drug of the choice in the pneumocystitis and the nocardia, biceptol or cotrimoxazole. Now the next is aspirin. So remember the aspirin may have the many many effects. Like aspirin is also known as acetyl, what is the IUPAC name or the scientific name? That is acetyl salicylic acids. So it can be used as analgesics. Analgesics, you know what the analgesics do? Yeah, these are the painkillers. So analgesics, it can act as the analgesic. Analgesic means they are the painkillers. What is this? Sorry. So these are the analgesics. Okay, analgesic. These are the analgesic means they are the painkiller. And these are the, what happened to this? These are the antipyretics. So analgesics, these are antipyretic means the decrease, used for the fever, like they decrease the temperature. What are the antipyretic drugs? The drugs which decrease the temperature. It reduces the thrombocytic aggregations. That's why it is an anti-thrombotic effect, or we can say it is a disaggregating effect. So it is a disaggregating effect. Who? Aspirin or acetyl salicylic acid. Then what is the side effect? So the side effect, that is the Ray's syndrome. So what is the side effect for the aspirin? That is the Ray's syndrome, and is contraindicated in the children. But the exception for that, that is the Kawasaki disease. We studied in the microbio that in Kawasaki disease we can use the aspirin or only for the children. So that mainly there is aspirin is contraindicated in the children because it causes the Ray's syndromes. You don't need to know here for the croak what is the Ray's syndrome. So just remember the side effect for the aspirin, and the exception is here Kawasaki disease, in which we use, yes, what, immunoglobulins and the aspirin tablets. Then next is about sodium bicarbonate and baking soda. So remember the sodium NaSCO3, sodium bicarbonate, hydrogen carbonate, and the baking soda, they use antacid, base alkali. They neutralize the acidity. इनो काम करे सिर्फ 5 सेकंड में. So remember the इनो it's also antacid. So इनो, so remember the इनो, they have the sodium bicarbonate or the baking soda. We know that in our homes छोले भटूरे बनाने में जो काम आता है ना, वही, yes, that is baking soda, antacid, and then neutralize the acidity. So इनो, remember, that is काम करे चुटकियों में, that is the antacids. Then the steroid drugs, it's prednisolone, dexamethasone, and the hydrocortisone. So steroid drugs, we already studied that prednisolone. I don't know why I wrote it again. Then adrenaline. Remember the adrenalines that act on the alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, and the beta 2. I'm not going into deep of the sympathetic and parasympathetic. So you should know about what is the sympathetic, what is the parasympathetic effect, what is the sympathetic. We will discuss it. I'm thinking of making new separate video on this topic, sympathetic and parasympathetic. So if it will be time for you, then I will. Otherwise, we will see. The next is adrenaline. Adrenaline, it acts on the alpha 1, alpha 2, and beta 1 and the beta 2. So these are the sympathetomimetic. Means we know that we have the sympathetic receptor, adrenoreceptors. We have the alpha 1 receptor, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. So remember that it acts on the alpha 1 to beta 2. It acts on all the receptors. So alpha 1, remember alpha 1, what is the function of the alpha 1? Alpha 1 cause vasoconstriction. Alpha 1 cause vasoconstriction. And alpha 2 present in the presynaptic membrane. It acts as a brake to the sympathetic system. It acts as brake to the sympathetic system. Beta 1, it present in the BHK, heart, and the fat cells. So remember the BHK flat or kidney. Okay, so remember the BHK flat. So B means beta 1, H for heart, and K for kidney or juxtaglomerular cells of the kidney, F for fat cells. Then beta 2 present in the smooth muscles or the bronchus, like bronchus and any other, or GIT smooth muscles. So it present in the smooth muscles. What they cause? They cause, if in the bronchus, they cause the bronchodilation. They cause the bronchodilation. So remember, in the one disease we have that anaphylactic shock, that can be due to the benzyl penicillin sodium salts and due to unawareness of the condition, person having unconsciousness. So remember the anaphylactic shock. So anaphylactic shock, remember anaphylactic shock, it causes vasodilation. There will be the vasodilation in this and anaphylactic shock, and there will be the bronchoconstriction will be seen. So vasodilation and the bronchoconstriction seen in the anaphylactic shocks. So in this case, okay, let's first discuss about noradrenaline. So remember the noradrenaline, it act only on alpha 1 and alpha 2. It does not have action on the beta receptors. So remember, we cannot give noradrenaline. Can we give here for the anaphylactic shocks noradrenaline? Of course no. If we will give the patient patient of anaphylactic shock noradrenaline, then what will happen? There will be the vasoconstriction will occur, but due to bronchoconstriction, the person will die, or person will die from the bronchoconstriction. There is more constriction, and the patient will finally tata bye bye. Then noradrenaline, it act on the alpha 1 and alpha 2. Okay, so remember, for anaphylactic shock, it vasodilation and the bronchoconstriction. For vasodilation we need to do vasoconstriction, and in the anaphylactic shock there will be bronchoconstriction, so we need to do the bronchodilation. For that we need beta 2 receptors, and for the vasoconstriction we need the help of alpha 1 receptors that will cause vasoconstriction. Now remember the one drug here, that is misatone. Which drugs? Misatone. So remember the misatone drugs, it act on alpha 1, or it is adrenomimetic drugs. It act on alpha 1 or adrenomimetic drugs, and it cause the vasoconstriction, because of course it act on the alpha 1 or adrenomimetic. Mimetic, you know, right? Mimetic means like same action as alpha 1. So same action as alpha 1, that is the misatone, and cause vasoconstriction, used for hypotension. So which drug used for hypotension? Misatone. Also remember the phenylephrine. Afrin. So that is phenylephrine. So remember the cause vasoconstriction, used for hypotension. We use for hypotension and used for acute care. So which drug used for the acute care? That is misatone. Which drug used for the hypotension? That is the misatone. Which drugs cause vasoconstriction? That is misatone. Which drugs act on the alpha 1? That is misatone. Or phenylephrine also have the like same function as the misatones. It's like some similarity. Then clonidine and the methyl dopa, they activate the alpha 2. So clonidine and the methyl dopa, remember, they activate the alpha 2 used in the hypertension. So activate the alpha 2. So I told the alpha 2, it acts as a brake to the sympathetic system. So it used in case of the hypertension patient. And never give clonidine plus alcohol, they cause the potentiation. So what is the meaning of the potentiation? Potentiation is simply means that when the both drugs will combine or giving like together, like we are giving here the clonidines and the person who is taking too much alcohol, then the 1 plus 1 effect will be more than 3 or equal to 3 effects. Means more than double or double to triple effect will be there. Then two drugs, remember, always I find the confusions from the students, that is ephedrine and the isadrine. So remember E for make it beta. So remember E means B, E means B. Okay, never make with I, this is I, this is not the I. Okay. So remember, this is the I. So remember E. So for that you need to make the B, EB. Then ephedrines means beta 1 and the beta 2 activator. If there is A means ephedrine, so it only activate the beta 1 and the beta 2, and also used for the bronchial asthma because it activates the beta 2. Now another drug, that is ephedrine. So one drug is here, that is ephedrine, that is ephedrines. Okay, and another drug, that is ephedrine, another drug, that is ephedrine. So remember ephedrine means they have the A, they are the A in the option. So remember the A in the option, so it means they activate the alpha 1 as well as beta 2 activator. So alpha 1 beta 2 ephedrine, beta 1 beta 2 ephedrine. Now there is a ephedrine have the activator. Now another one we know, that is the propranolol, that is the beta 1 or beta 2 blocker. So it is the antagonist of the ephedrines, or they have the opposite effect of to each other. So like ephedrine, they will activate, and propranolol, they try to deactivate or block the beta 1 and the beta 2. So the person who having the stenocardia or the heart patient, like having patient having the heart disease, okay, it came to you for checkup, and the patient didn't tell that he have the bronchial asthma. So which drug, and you for the stenocardia or the heart problem, you gave the drugs, that is the propranolol. So which drugs and which disease will be severe in this case? That will be the bronchial asthma, because you are giving the drugs, that is also the beta 2 blocker, that also propranolol, it will block the beta 2 also. So that leads to bronchoconstriction. So in the bronchial asthma there will be the bronchoconstriction, bronchial asthma there will be the bronchoconstriction. So due to the bronchoconstriction, more and more bronchoconstriction will be there, and person will have the severe bronchial asthma due to, and the patient is coming with again to you that I am feeling very problem with the, or like inspiration expiration problems, and having the in the stages of the kyphosis. Okay, so remember, for the stenocardia or heart patient having the bronchial asthma, so it contraindicated in the stenocardia or heart patient having the bronchial asthma. Okay, okay, now we studied the two drugs about the hypotension. Norepinephrine we also can use for the hypotension. Now one drug is here that used for the hypertension, that is reserpine. So remember the reserpine. There is other drugs also, but for now just remember the reserpine. So reserpine, they what they do, they inhibit the vesicle formation. So reserpine, what they do, they inhibit the vesicle formation. Vesicle means, yes, seminal vesicles, where the norepinephrine or the dopamine will store. So due to, they will inhibit the vesicle formation, so no norepinephrine will release. And we know that epinephrine and the norepinephrine, they are the sympathetic effect. They have the sympathetic effect. They will increase the blood pressure. So they will increase the blood pressure. So there is no norepinephrine release, means there is no hypertension will be there, and the blood pressure will be decreased. That's why it's used for the hypertensions. Everyone knows this, right? Norepinephrine and the epinephrines, okay, or adrenaline or the noradrenaline, they have the sympathetic effect. Okay, sympathetic effect, and they increase the blood pressures. Then another drug, glibenclamide or the sulfonylurea. So it used for the diabetes mellitus type 2, and that is insulin independent diabetes. Insulin independent diabetes, what treatment we will do? That we will give insulin. Then next is antiemetic or anti-nausea drugs. So remember, for the antiemetic and the anti-nausea drugs, we will give three drugs mainly, that is metoclopramide and amisad and ondansetron. Metoclopramide, amisad and ondansetron. Remember the metoclopramide. So this is the Asteria Rai, one drug with 5 receptor. So they act on the 5 receptor at a time. So one drugs with that with act with the 5 receptors. You don't just remember the metoclopramide or these things. If you want to know, just give me the comment and I will tell. Then antiemetic or the anti-nausea drugs. So remember the metoclopramide. So this is the antiemetic and the anti-nausea drugs. That's most commonly asked in the croak, only metoclopramide. Then panangine. What the panangine? This is artificial potassium tablet. So what the panangine? Artificial potassium tablet. Just give a look here. Panangine. Panangine means artificial potassium tablet. Artificial potassium tablet. Artificial potassium tablet. That's all. Then remember heparin. Heparin we know that is the anticoagulant. What they function? They prevent the thrombosis. They prevent the thrombosis means they prevent the blood clotting. What is the side effect of that? Side effect means the heparin induce thrombocytopenia. Heparin induce thrombocytopenia, and what the treatment we will give here, that is acarbo. Or the antidote for the heparin, that is the protamine sulfate. Which treatment? Antidote protamine sulfate, and they have the, we already discussed, that is the chemical antagonisms. Now remember the another important drug, that is the magnesium sulfate. So which drug used for the hypertensive crisis or the eclampsia condition? So which drug used for the hypertensive crisis? That is magnesium sulfate. When will we have hypertensive crisis? When the blood pressure is more than 200 mmHg, that is hypertensive crisis. And which drug we will give? Magnesium sulfate. And we can, it also used in case of the eclampsia condition, in which there also the hypertension crisis will be seen. But the antidote for the magnesium, we know that is the most careful. Most careful means there is a calcium MC. MC means calcium chloride. It acts as a cholagogic or cholagogue. So it's because it give, and also remember it given as IV injection. Vikas. So who is the Vikas? Write down in the comment who is the Vikas. So this Vikas is, remember, Vikas is vitamin K substitutes. Vikas is vitamin K substitutes and the Vicasolume. So Vicasolume, vitamin K substitute. Vicasolume is vitamin K substitute drugs for the hemorrhage prevention. So which is the drugs for the hemorrhage prevention? That is Vicasolume. Remember the drug for the radiation ulcer, that is vitamin A, used for the radiation ulcer. Okay, the nitroglycerin we studied also before, that is our taken sublingually. It is the drugs taken sublingually and act via cGMP. But the precursor for the nitroglycerin, again I am telling, that is that arginine, and it causes the methemoglobinemia, that due to nitrate poisoning. Nitrate is mainly present in, yes, that is present in the watermelon. Remember the potassium, the most abundant source for the potassium is the coconut water, that is coconut water. Then what the function the nitroglycerin? They provide the oxygen to the myocardium. And the intensification of ATP synthesis. Provide the oxygen to the myocardium, and there is an intensification of the ATP synthesis we will see. Panengines, it artificial potassium tablets. Panengine, there is an artificial potassium tablet. It is, remember, Panengine artificial. Again I am writing why. The calcium toxicosis, that is cause the hot and the warm feelings. So calcium toxicosis which cause the hot and the warm feelings. So these are the question from the ministry. Then doxorubicin and the daunorubicins, these are the dilated cardiomyopathy. Doxorubicin and the daunorubicins, they cause the dilated cardiomyopathy. So which drugs cause the dilated cardiomyopathy? Doxorubicin and the daunorubicins. Which drug cause the nephrotoxicity, that is aminoglycoside? Which drugs cause the orange body secretion or the red urine, that is the rifampicin, the first line drug for the epilepsy? The loss consciousness, anaphylactic shock, benzyl penicillin sodium salt. Withdrawal or abstinence syndromes is seen in the drugs or person having the drugs or the alcohol withdrawal, like who is taking too much drugs, like narcotic drugs, or the alcohol, taking too much alcohol, then we will take, then he have the withdrawal or the abstinence syndromes. Now remember the glanthamine hydrobromidone, they increase the acetylcholine, they have the two mechanism of actions. These are the cholinomimetics, as well as they inhibit the acetylcholine stage. In the both cases we can say that it increase the acetylcholine. So what the side effect for that? Side effect we know that is it's a conjunctivitis, eye conjunctivitis is the side effect. Now the pyringipine, remember it is the selective M1 cholinergic blockers. So these are the selective M1 cholinergic blockers. Who? Pyringipine, these are the selective M1 cholinergic blocker, and it is used for the stomach ulcer. So which is the selective M1 cholinergic blockers? Yes, the question from the ministry, that is the pyringipine. Now remember the atropine sulfate. Atropine sulfate we know that is it's a cholinoblockers. Parasympathetic blockers. and it blocks M1, M2, M3 साइमल्टेनियसली, एक साथ उनको क्या कर देते, ब्लॉक कर देते, कौन, एट्रोपिन. सो इट कॉन्ट्रा इंडिकेटेड इन द ग्लाउकोमा पेशेंट. सो दीज आर द कॉन्ट्रा इंडिकेटेड इन ग्लाउकोमा पेशेंट्स. सो व्हाट इज द साइड इफेक्ट ऑफ दैट इंक्रीज, द साइड इफेक्ट इज दैट दे इंक्रीज द इंट्राओकुलर प्रेशर. द साइड इफेक्ट दैट दे इंक्रीज द इंट्राओकुलर प्रेशर. Propranolol, remember, it caused the severe bronchospasm in the asthma patient. Again question. That's why, because the foil was crashed, so I wrote it again. Propranolol, it caused the severe bronchospasm in the asthma patient. Nitrazepam, it's have the two effects as you studied before, that is the sleeping pill. Nitrazepam is known as sleeping pills, and that's why it's known as insomnia. The drugs for insomnia. Insomnia means no sleep. Insomnia means no sleep. So that is the sleeping pill. That is the nitrazepam used for the insomnia and has dependence effects. So have the dependence effects. Remember one more drug there is like nitrazepam, that is zolpidem or zolpidem. So that is zolpidem. So remember the zolpidem, it is the less dependence effect than the nitrazepam. Nitrazepam have the more dependence effect, and zolpidem it's have the less sedative effects. So just remember this as it is. Then next drug is Farcovenom. Farcovenom is what? This is preparation for the IV injection. Farcovenom is the preparation for the IV injections. Then Parazosinum. It is the alpha-1 adrenoreceptor antagonist. So remember the prazosinum, that is alpha-1 adrenoreceptor antagonist. What does it mean? What they cause? Antagonist. So antagonist means opposite function. So they will cause the vasodilation. So prazosinum, they will cause the vasodilation. Okay, vasodilation. If it will be an agonist, what they will do? They will cause the vasoconstriction. Okay, the next is about the sartan. Sartan, remember the sartan. So we know the sartan. So remember, we know the RAS system, right? Renin, angiotensin, aldosterone systems. So in that we need to, so what they cause, they due to aldosterone 2. Aldosterone 2, remember, it is the most potent vasoconstriction. Aldosterone, that is angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2. It causes it most potent vasoconstrictor. It is most potent vasoconstriction. So vasoconstriction means they will increase the blood pressure, or they have also effect on the vasopressins, also effect on the aldosterone. So they have the, we need to block for if they have increased blood pressure. So what drugs we will use? That we will use the sartan. So remember the telmisartan, okay, or lomesartan, lovemesartan. So all the drugs ending with the sartan, these are the angiotensin receptor blockers. These are the angiotensin receptor blockers. So which drugs block the angiotensin receptor? That is the sartan. And then remember the next is the pills. So remember the pills, what they do? They block the ACE enzymes. ACE means angiotensin converting enzyme. Angiotensin converting enzyme present in the lungs, and it blocks the, so what the angiotensin converting enzyme? They convert the angiotensin 1 to another form, second form. So pills, remember, they block the ACE enzyme. So remember enalapril. So for the side effect for that, that is the dry cough. So remember, for how you will remember who is the sartan, who is the pills. So remember PACE, pace. Yes, you know that pace ke shoes, or just remember the pace. So P means pills. So remember, I write it here, PAC, P for pills, and ACE for ACE, angiotensin converting enzyme. So remember the pills always block the ACE enzyme, and the sartan block the angiotensin receptor. Never confuse with this, who is the sartan and who is the pills. So okay, so remember the pace, another you will remember. So remember angiotensin remember the two things, angiotensin receptors, the ACE enzymes, and for that pills you know the pace. That's why you always, and another one is our sartan. Okay. The next is amoxicillin. So amoxicillin, remember, it is used for the acute tracheobronchitis. Which drugs used for the acute tracheobronchitis? Amoxicillin. Sulfonamide is the competitive antagonist with the para-aminobenzoic acid. Ritabolum is the anabolic drug for the appetite involvement. Remember as it is. Calcicloridum used for the calcium used for the contraction, used for the tetany. Tetany means contraction. Magnesium sulfate is also used for the food intoxication. One more drug is remaining, that is Bisacodyl. Bisacodyl, I know that you know. Chronic constipation. Bisacodyl is used for the chronic constipation. So Bisacodyl is used for the chronic constipation. Okay. So let's finish it, and thanks for watching. Keep learning, keep growing. All the best. If you have any queries and any problem in this slide or anywhere, so you can just message me on my Instagram @medicmukul, as you know, @medicmukul. Okay, so just message me and follow me there. Don't forget to follow, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.